Hey guys, this is part 6 of my story Torn Apart. I hope you enjoy it. Disclaimer: the characters and pictures do not belong to me. All rights belong to their rightful owners. I don't see the characters the way I portray them in my story. As a reminder, my first language is not English. My English is not the best. This story contains a lot of angst. It will also have +16 scenes in later parts. I advise not to read this story if you are under 16 or not comfortable with these topics. Warning: mention of suicide attempt, depression, violence, underage drinking, and sex. Atsumu nervously paced in his new room. His parents just wrote to him that they arrived safely at home. He was very nervous about talking to his brother. Baby, come to me? Calm down. I'm here for you all the time. Do you want me to write for you? Yes please, Omi. I am so nervous. I don't know what to write to him. Kiyomi pulled Atsumu onto his lap and held him tight. Atsumu sat facing Kiyomi. Kiyomi laid his head on Atsumu's chest. He held his back with his right arm and ran his left hand through his hair. The two sat like that for a few minutes when Atsumu's phone started ringing. Atsumu started to panic right away. Atsumu jumped off Kiyomi's lap. He stared at his phone. What? I thought he would text me. I'm not ready for him to call me. I can't speak to him. I'm not ready. Baby, calm down. Should I answer the phone for you? I can put it on the speaker so you hear everything but don't have to speak. Yes, Omi, that would be okay. When Atsumu heard his brother talking, he decided to listen to his brother and then to tell him how he felt over the past 6 months. After Atsumu said what he wanted and after saying goodbye to his brother, he broke down. He knelt on the floor. He couldn't breathe. Sakuatsu knew right away what was happening. Atsumu had a panic attack. Kiyomi jumps off the bed, opens the door and called for Motoya. Mori, come quickly. Atsumu is having a panic attack. Motoya threw open his door and ran to Atsumu's room. Mr. Komori and Mrs. Komori also came from the living room. Motoya and Kiyomi lifted Atsumu together and put him on the couch. They sat down next to him. Kiyomi hugged his boyfriend. Atsumu pressed his face into Kiyomi's neck. Motoya scooted closer to his friend and hugged him from behind as well. Dad, get Atsumu a glass of water? Mum, come here and put your hands on Atsumu's legs. The two did what their son told them. After a moment, Atsumu calmed down. Atsumu needs physical contact when he's having a panic attack. Motoya and Kiyomi have been there when he had one, more than once, so they knew exactly what to do. They also asked Kita and Akaji what the best way is to calm him down. They didn't know each other personally, but they were in a group that Atsumu put together. When Kita found out that Atsumu was moving to Motoya, he wrote to him to give him tips on how best to deal with Atsumu when he was panicking. When Atsumu calmed down, he thanked the 4 people he owed so much. Next day, Monday, on Atsumu's first day of school at his new school. Unfortunately, Atsumu couldn't get into the same class as Motoya and Kiyomi, but he was in class with 2 of his new team, Zuko Tatsumi and Hakiko Hasegawa. Zuko is a center blocker and Hakiko is a wing spiker. Atsumu got on well with both of them. He spent the lunch break with Motoya and Kiyomi on the roof. They had fun as always. Atsumu had a good first day at his new school. He made many new friends. He was able to relax after a long time. He wasn't scared every time someone called out to him. When school was over, he rushed to Kiyomi's classroom so they could go to the gym together. During practice, Kiyomi noticed that Hachiko Hasegawa was getting too close to Atsumu. Kiyomi was jealous, but he wanted that Atsumu makes good friends, so he didn't say anything. After practice, Hachiko hugged Atsumu. That went too far for Kiyomi. He tried to pull himself together. But when Atsumu broke away from the hug and Hachiko put his arm around Atsumu's neck, Kiyomi couldn't help but walk over to the two of them. He glared at Hachiko. He hated it when someone touched his boyfriend. "Hey Atsu, would you like to go see a movie with me tomorrow after school?" "Sounds good Iko. Can Omi and Mori come too?" "Don't touch him Hasegawa. Don't call him Atsu, that's my nickname. Only I can touch him and call him Atsu. He's my boyfriend. Don't be jealous, Omi, I'm yours alone." "Iko, I told you that you can call me Tsumu. Atsu is Omi's nickname, only he can call me that. You also know that my Omi is germophobic, so you shouldn't touch me, he doesn't like it. And you know that Omi and I are in a relationship with each other. So I ask you to keep a little more distance from me." "Yes, sorry I didn't think about it. Sakuatsu-kun, I'm sorry, I'll make sure that I have more distance to Tsumu from now on. It's okay as long as it doesn't happen again." 3 months later. Kiyomi's point of view. Atsumu is not in good mental health. He has so much anger inside him. He is so mad at his brother and at the same time he misses him a lot. He misses his best friend Suna. He wants to forgive both of them but he just can't do it yet. He has asked his parents and Kita to keep Osamu up to date, because even though he is very angry and sad about his brother, he doesn't want him to worry. Despite all the anger and disappointment, he still loves his brother. The anger and sadness overwhelmed him so much that he started drinking to forget the pain. Sakusa and Komura were both very worried. They tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen. Atsumu is at Sakusa's home. "Omi, let us do something together?" "No Atsu, you are drunk. We can go on a date when you're sober." "Don't be like that. I want to have some fun. Otherwise I'll have to ask Iko if he'll come with me, if you don't want to. You know that I don't like it when you're with him all the time. You can't always threaten me that you will do something with him if I don't do what you want. Not after what you did. You are so boring. I'll call Iko and hang out with him. If you do that now, it's over between us. I am your boyfriend Atsumu and not just a friend. You can't always treat me like this." "Well then it's probably over." "What? You cannot be serious? After everything I've done for you, are you giving up on me? After I forgive you for cheating on me? Have you really forgiven me? You don't want to do anything with me anymore. Sometimes you don't even answer me. I always have to come to you when I want to see you. You didn't forgive me. You just didn't break up. If I wanted to be ignored by the one I love, I could have stayed home with Osamu. I know it's my fault, but I can't stand being treated like that. Not after what Osamu did." Atsumu and Sakusa have relationship problems for a while because Atsumu drinks a lot with Hachiko Hasegawa. Once, when Atsumu got really drunk, he cheated on him with Hachiko. Since then, Sakusa stopped spending time with Atsumu. Sakusa has often asked Atsumu not to see Hachiko outside of practice. But Atsumu didn't want to listen to Kiyomi. He thought if he forced Atsumu to choose between him and Hachiko, he would choose him. But he was wrong about that. Kiyomi forgave Atsumu because he told him right away and he seemed like he really regretted it. And also because he knew Atsumu wasn't the same person when he was drinking. He knew he would never have cheated on him if he had been sober. Kiyomi called Motoya. "Hi Mori, can you come over?" "What happened?" "I think I broke up with Atsu. I'm on my way." 10 minutes later. Motoya burst into the Sakusa's house and went to Kiyomi's room. Kiyomi knelt in front of his bed and cried. Motoya knelt in front of him and took his cousin in his arms. He just held him in his arms for a moment and calmed him down. When Kiyomi calmed down, Motoya started to speak. What happened? I know it's not easy for you two recently, but haven't you told me that you forgive him because you know he's not himself right now? Atsu threatened me again if I don't go out with him he'll call Hachiko and do something with him. I told him that if he did that it would be over between us and he agreed and went out. And he said that I didn't forgive him? He was drunk again, wasn't he? You know he didn't mean it. Talk to him tomorrow. I know that he loves you and that he never wanted to cheat on you. But you know what he's like when he had too much to drink. He probably thought it was you. You are right. We never really talked about what happened. I really should talk to him about everything tomorrow. Can you maybe talk to him tomorrow too and maybe try to convince him again to stop drinking? Of course I will. The two have a great understanding when it comes to Atsumu. They understand that Atsumu is going through a difficult time. They see it firsthand. It's always the two who have to comfort him in the middle of the night when he has another nightmare. It's also the two that hold him when he has to vomit because he drunk too much. They see how much he suffers and they see how much he misses his brother. Kiyomi is disappointed that Atsumu cheated on him and he is angry, but he can forgive him. He knows that Atsumu would never have cheated on him if he had been clear in his head. Kiyomi understands Atsumu better than anyone else does. Kiyomi's life wasn't always easy either and he knows that when you go through such a time you sometimes do things that you would never do otherwise. Atsumu's point of view. He went to a nearby park. He sat down on a bench and began to cry. Why do the people he loves always leave him? Why did he go? Why can't he just do what Kiyomi asks? Why does his own brother hate him? Why did his beloved Inarizaka team turn against him? Those are all questions that go through his head. It's not that Atsumu has met Hachiko since the kiss. What Atsumu doesn't know himself is why he couldn't just tell Kiyomi that. Is it because he feels so much self-hatred? Or is it because he thinks he doesn't deserve such a great person like Kiyomi? He sat on the bench for a few hours and continued to drink. He bought several beers. He picked up his cell phone to see if Sakusa had texted him. But of course he didn't get a message from his Omi. He looked through his cell phone for a while when he came to a contact with whom he had not had any contact for 3 months. It wasn't long before his call was answered. He supposed he was already awake. Sumu, is it you? Did something happen or why are you calling me at 1:30 in the morning? Why do you hate me? Am I such a bad person that everyone hates me? Why can't nobody love me? Sumu, did something happen and are you drunk? Yes, that's the only way I can take the pain. Why is everyone leaving me? Why am I not able to hold the people by my side that I love? Sumu, I don't hate you. I'm so sorry for what I did to you. The whole team is very sorry. Did something happen that you call me after 3 months? Can I do something to help you? I managed to get the person I love the most and who loves me the most to drive away. He hates me now too. What happened? And I'm sure he doesn't hate you. I cheated on Omi. Oh? Why did you do it? I cheated on him 2 weeks ago. I was completely drunk. He forgave me but since then he doesn't want to go on dates anymore. And I threatened him today if he doesn't go on a date with me I'll call Iko and go to him. I don't even know why I did it. Who is Iko? This is the one I cheated on Omi with. He told me if I did that it would be over between us. I just told him well then it's probably over and you didn't forgive me. You just didn't break up and left. Why did I become like this? Why do I hurt those I love? Can't I get happy? Did you go to Iko? No, of course not. I haven't spoken to him since I cheated on Omi. Then maybe you should go to Sakusa and tell him that you weren't with him and you didn't mean it. You may also want to stop drinking this much, so that you don't do something again that you will regret. Thank you Samu for helping me even if you hate me. Sumu, I don't hate you. I never did. When I thought you slept with Samira I was angry and disappointed, but I never hated you. Sumo, I very much regret what I did. I wish I could turn back time and undo what I did to you. So you don't hate me? No. Sumu, I don't hate you. I love you and I miss you very much. Atsumu started to cry. He was very happy to hear his brother say these words again after such a long time. He missed his brother very much too. Maybe it was those 3 words he needed to heal his wounds. He felt better. He felt like a heavy load had fallen from his shoulders. Atsu, I'm sorry. Please do not cry. I didn't mean to upset you. I know I have no right to tell you that I love you after what I did to you. No, I had to hear these exact words from you. Thank you. I love you too Samu. Can you come to Tokyo sometime? I want to see my brother again. And I want you to meet Mori and Omi. Of course I would love to visit you. I have to go to Omi now. See you? Atsumu hung up and went to Sakusa as fast as possible. He didn't ring the bell so he wouldn't wake up Sakusa's family. He took the key that Sakusa gave him and snuck into Sakusa's room. He found Sakusa asleep on his bed. He knelt next to the bed. He brushed Sakusa's curls from his face. Omi, I'm so sorry. Sakusa slowly woke up. He was very startled when he saw Atsumu in front of him. He sat up and rubbed his eyes. He looked at Atsumu and was very shocked. When he saw that Atsumu had very red and swollen eyes. Atsu, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be with your beloved Iko? I'm so sorry, Omi. I swear I didn't go to Iko. I haven't spoken to him in 2 weeks. I love only you. I didn't mean to cheat on you, I swear. I hate myself for that. Please forgive me. I cannot live without you. You didn't go to him? Even though you said it? You haven't had any contact with him for 2 weeks. Then why did you act like you still see each other the whole time? Why didn't you tell me the truth? I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I lied either. Maybe it's because I don't deserve your love, or maybe because I hate myself, or maybe I'm trying to sabotage myself. I do not know. I keep hurting you, even though I want nothing more than to be happy with you. When I talked to Samu earlier, I've realized what I'm doing, that I'm pushing away the person I love the most. I love you more than anything else. I think I push you away because I'm afraid that you will leave me too, like my team and even my own brother did. So I pushed you away before you could leave me, so I wouldn't get hurt. But instead of protecting myself from the pain, I hurt you and myself. And because of this you broke my heart? You know how much I love you? You should know that I won't leave you. I was always there for you. Do you know how much it hurt me when you told me you cheated on me with Hachiko? But I love you so much that I have forgiven you. And to think that you are still hanging out with him hurts too, you know? Do you know what thoughts and pictures came into my head? Atsumu was in tears again. He was on his knees and buried his face in his hands. He couldn't look Kiyomi in the face. He didn't want to see the pain and anger on his face. Kiyomi sat on the edge of the bed. He looked down at Atsumu. He too was in tears. He wiped away his tears, even if it was useless because new ones rolled down his cheeks. Do you know what I was imagining? What you and Hachiko were doing behind my back. I imagined you guys sleeping together. Every time I close my eyes I see him touching you everywhere. Atsumu looked up in shock. He straightened and wrapped Kiyomi in a tight embrace. Baby, no. Kiyomi grabbed Atsumu by the shoulders and pushed him harshly away. He pushed him away a little harder than he wanted. He looked away not to see how much Atsumu was hurt by that little thing. He knows how badly Atsumu takes rejection, especially since Osamu turned against Atsumu. But Kiyumi just couldn't stand Atsumu that close. He's very hurt himself. When Kiyumi pushed Atsumu away, Atsumu burst into tears again. He buried his face in his hands. He leaned forward so he had his hands on his knees. Omi, I'm so sorry. I swear I'll get better for you, but please don't leave me. I will. Kiyumi rubbed Atsumu from the back of his head down towards his chin. This made Atsumu look up. Kiyumi grabbed the other's chin and made him look him in the face. It hurt him to see his loved one in pain, but his anger at him was greater. He wanted Atsumu to see what he did to him. Look at me when you speak. You should see what pain you caused me. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to cheat on you. I know that my fears and being hurt because of Osamu doesn't give me the right to hurt you. Did you cheat on me because of my phobia? Because I wasn't ready to sleep with you yet? Is that why you cheat on me with Hachiko? So that he can give you what I couldn't? What no? I love you with all your flaws. I fell in love with you and your phobia? It is a part of you and I love everything about you, and I can wait until you're ready to have sex. I don't know what was wrong with me when I let him kiss me. Omi, I love you the way you are. I know that sex is not as easy for you as it is for me. I respect that you want to wait. I swear I didn't mean to cheat on you. Please, you have to believe me. I cannot live without you. I can't lose you too. I need you. Now that I'm ready to forgive Osamu, I need you by my side. I know it's selfish, but I can't be without you. Please, please. Sakusa started crying again. He got up and walked across the room. He kept running his fingers through his hair. Atsumu looked at him. When Sakusa leaned forward and took his head between his hands and began to cry harder, he got up and went to Sakusa. He pulled Sakusa up and took him in his arms. Atsumu stroked his back to calm him down. At first he tried to resist the hug and tried to push Atsumu away, but Atsumu wouldn't let himself be pushed away. After a moment, Kiyumi accepted the hug. I'm so sorry, Omi. Please don't cry. I hate to see you like that. If you can't take it anymore, if I stay by your side I can go back home. I just want you to be happy. Kiyumi pushed Atsumu away from him. He went to his bed and sat back on the edge. Atsumu went and knelt in front of Sakusa. Sakusa looked at Atsumu. He wiped the tears from his face. But new tears rolled down his cheeks. Atsumu, if it's not because of my phobia and also not because I wasn't ready for sex, then why did you sleep with Hachiko? What does he have that I don't have? What can he give you that I can't? Why do you think I slept with him? I told you that we kissed, not that we slept together. I didn't sleep with Hachiko. Hachiko told me. He said that I should sleep with you because you were so good. What the hell? SHHHH, my parents are sleeping? Sorry? Omi, I haven't slept with Hachiko. He kissed me and I kissed back, but when I realized it wasn't you I pushed him away. I want to believe you, but you don't believe me? I want to believe you, but why should he lie? Omi, I promise you, I didn't sleep with him. He would lie to make you leave me? He told me he loved me, but I rejected him because I love you. I know I shouldn't have let him kiss me. I swear I was so drunk I thought you kissed me. I would never have let the kiss happen if I knew it wasn't you. What can I do to make you believe me? Does it matter if I believe you? I won't leave you. I love you too much to leave you. I have forgiven you. Can't we just forget all this? It is important to me. Omi, I'm still a virgin. For me it is important that you know that you would be my first time. Please, Omi, you just have to believe me. Have you never done it before? Like never? Not even with your ex-girlfriends or with Kita? No, I wanted my first time to be with someone I truly love. I didn't want my first time to be something meaningless. I never really loved my ex-girlfriends. And me and Kida weren't ready yet, and when we were ready, my brother turned against me and then I broke up with Kida. Then you loved Kida so much? If you hadn't broken up because of your brother, would you still be with him? No, I wouldn't be. Why? Because I met you? I thought I really loved Kida, but when I compare it to the feelings I have for you, it wasn't love. I've never had such strong feelings for anyone in my life as I have for you. If I had still been with Kida when I met you, sooner or later I would have broken up with him so that I could be with you. I can't quite believe you're still a virgin. It was always so easy for you when we made out. It seemed so easy for you to keep going. You always knew what to do. Yes, because it was you. With my exes I could never go as far as with you. With my ex-girlfriends, I've always been uncomfortable when we made out. Even with Kida I couldn't go much further. We always stopped when we were both topless. I've never felt as comfortable with Kida as I did with you. I know I could go all the way with you cause it would be with you. Atsumu got up and leaned down to Kiyomi. He grabbed Kiyomi's chin and made him look up at him. Atsumu thought if Kiyomi didn't believe his words, he had to show him. Can I kiss you please? Kiyomi just nodded. Atsumu leaned forward. Just before their lips touched, he stopped. Omi, please believe me. I could never sleep with someone else. I want you to be my first and last. I want to be yours always and forever, and I want you to be mine. Kiyomi closed the gap between them. He kissed Atsumu. He pulled him onto his lap. They lay down, never breaking the kiss. Atsumu placed his hands next to Sakusa's head. Atsumu began to cry. His tears rolled down his face. They fell and landed on Sakusa's face. Atsumu broke the kiss and raised his upper body slightly and let his head hang. He closed his eyes. Kiyomi stroked Atsumu's blonde hair out of the face. Please look at me, Atsu. He shook his head. His emotions suddenly overwhelmed him. The argument with Kiyomi and the conversation with Osamu were too much for him. He is very afraid that Kiyomi will leave him. During the kiss he could tell that Kiyomi hesitated to kiss him properly. Please baby? Atsumu slowly opened his eyes and hesitantly looked at his partner. He expected to see a look of disgust, anger, disappointment, or pain, but when he looked there was only love and understanding in Kiyomi's raven black eyes. I believe you. You don't say that out of pity. Do you really believe me? You're not just saying it to reassure me? No, Atsu. I believe you because I know you. I know how proud you can be. You would never say you are a virgin if it wasn't for the truth. I can see it in your eyes too. You also have a habit when you lie. Atsumu cried harder. He kissed Sakusa and lay down on top of him. This time it was tears of relief. His fear that Kiyomi would leave him disappeared. He was happy that his lover believed him. Kiyomi kissed back. He ran his hand down Atsumu's back to his hips. He grabbed them and flipped him onto his back. He didn't break the kiss. They continued for a moment before Kiyomi broke the kiss and sat up. He looked down at the other. He placed his hands on Atsumu's thighs. Atsumu spread his legs slightly and Kiyomi knelt between them. Atsumu's thighs were on top of Kiyomi's. The two looked deep into each other's eyes without either of them saying anything. Kiyomi ran his hands over the setter's muscular thighs. Kiyomi broke the silence and asked him the questions that were on his mind. He kept asking himself these questions while kissing Atsumu. Atsumu spread his legs slightly and Kiyomi knelt between them. He needed answers to his questions or they would drive him crazy. How did it come to the kiss? Did you kiss him or did he kiss you? Was it a kiss or were you making out? Did you let him touch you and did you touch him? I was drunk and I told him what my old team and my brother did to me. I broke down talking about this. He tried to comfort me. He hugged me. I had my head on his shoulders. When I calmed down and I broke from his hug, he kissed me. I kissed back because I forgot that I'm not with you. I pushed him away as soon as I realized you weren't kissing me. He only touched my back and I only touched his arms and upper back. When you kissed him back, did you think I was kissing you and not him? Yes, I was so drunk I couldn't think straight and I didn't realize where I was. Then you didn't really cheat on me? If you thought I kissed you, you didn't knowingly kiss someone else. When you kissed back, it wasn't Hachiko who kissed you, it was me. Who you thought you were kissing, wasn't it? When you realized you weren't kissing me, you immediately pushed him away, right? Yes, exactly. He took advantage of the fact that you weren't sane. He took advantage of you. Have you spoken to him since? No. Since then I haven't spoken to him or even let him near me when you weren't there. I blocked his number too. Kiyomi breathed a sigh of relief. He was very happy that Atsumu didn't willingly cheat on him. But the anger at Hachiko grew all the greater. He couldn't believe that one of his team would take advantage of the state of a drunk and then lie about the situation. I thought you couldn't block more people. Kiyomi joked to relieve Atsumu's tension. Atsumu laughed lightly, which also made Kiyomi laugh. I know this was supposed to be a joke, but I really couldn't block any more. I unblocked Suna's number. The two laughed together for a moment, until they looked up. Atsumu sat up and leaned on his left arm. He placed his right hand on Kiyomi's shoulder and gently placed his hand on the back of his head. Kiyomi's curls lay between Atsumu's fingers. He pulled his partner towards him until they were a few inches apart. They looked deep into each other's eyes and closed them and kissed. Kiyomi pulled up Atsumu's t-shirt. He ran his hand over Atsumu's chest. He broke the kiss to pull the t-shirt off. The lips connected so immediately with each other. They lay down together. Atsumu was pushed into the mattress by the ace. You can find smut scene on my Instagram account. Next afternoon, the couple had been lying awake in bed for a while. Both already took a bath. They cuddled together while a movie was playing on Kiyomi's tablet. They were disturbed about halfway through the film by a knock on the room door. Atsumu, darling, your brother is here. Can you please come into the living room? Thanks again to everyone who follows my story. I hope I meet your expectations. I also want to apologize that this part is so long. I love reading your comments. I find it very motivating. This video was uploaded earlier because I finished it early. I started a poll on my Instagram account whether I should wait until Saturday or upload earlier. If you want to help decide in the future, you can follow me on my Instagram account. The link is in the description. I apologize for the grammatical errors. Write me a comment how you liked the story. Don't forget to follow. If someone wants a video, please let me know it. I will try to write your ideas as best as possible.